Hey everybody, it's Kaladesh, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing another premiere draft of Kaladesh Remastered, the original vehicle format. We've been having a lot of fun with these, and I'm excited to hop back in, so without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one. This is not going to be a super Kaladesh Remastered style pack one, pick one, because this pack has like almost no colorless spells. So usually you like to take some really good colorless options early and leave your options open, but there's just nothing in here. So we'll just take the rare, the Greenbelt Rampager. Pretty fun card for an energy deck, but good in anything that's deep into green. If you just go turn 1 Forest Rampager, you put it back in hand. Turn 2 Forest, tap both your mana, one to get your energy, and then the second to play it and keep it out. You've got a 3/4 out on turn 2, so in a green heavy deck, it's a good card. In an energy heavy deck, it's a good card. Just really, really solid stuff in general. Now, the card in competition there was the Ether Swooper, the 2 mana 1/2 flyer that gives you 2 energy, and when you attack, you can spend that 2 energy to spend out a servo. Card is also really great. Definitely keep an eye on that thing. Might even be better than Rampager, but I've been playing a lot of blue, and I think I'll probably end up in blue a lot because I take Ether Swooper so highly. So, see if we can end up in a green deck here today, play with our rare. So, pick two. I think we're supposed to take Ridge Scale Tusker. This is one of the bombiest green uncommons, putting a +1/+1 counter on your entire board while being a 5 mana 5/5. That's just a huge stat line for that mana cost, and it's perfect for what the green decks want to be doing, just bashing him with gigantic creatures. So I like the Tusker a lot. The issue is this will be the first time on the return to these Kaladesh Remastered drafts that I am passing a self-assembler. This is one of my favorite commons in the format. I take it over almost everything at, well, literally everything at common and almost everything at uncommon. But I think in this position where I started with Rampager and with how good of a green uncommon Tusker is, I'll take the Tusker over the self assembler. Pick number three, there's now just a Riparian Tiger in green, which is really filler. We could take the strongest mono-colored card here to take something that could end up in the same deck as a Rampager or a Tusker, like a Metallic Rebuke or a Sweatworks Brawler. These are pretty strong mono-colored commons. But Maverick Thopterist is insanely good as an uncommon, so I think I'd rather go for that. And it's possible we can play it in the same deck because we could run a couple Prophetic Prisms in a slower, beefier green deck that doesn't need to be curving out all the time, to where we can get some mana fixing towards splashing in red or splashing in blue in a green red or green blue deck. So take the Thopterist here. Just really, really good stat line for the cost. 5 mana for a 2/2 and 2/1/1 flyers. That's already good if you don't improvise it at all, but it gets absurd when you do. And I can make up for past mistakes and take the love of my life in pick four. Pick number five now. There's the Prophetic Prism I was talking about to potentially get a Thopterist into the same deck as these green spells. I don't mind that at all. Sweatworks Brawler is also a good evasive threat for relatively cheap, so that's an option too. Kind of all that's going on here. I mean, Malthus Squad is similar to the Sweatworks Brawler, good little menace threat, but I'll take the Prism. Pick number six, there's a Sky Skiff. I think green decks are the worst decks for Sky Skiffs, right? Because you end up with a bunch of beefy green creatures. So crew one is a little awkward for you because you don't have all your servo tokens or Thopter tokens sitting around. Basically, every other color has some amount of like 1 power stuff or 1/1 servos and 1/1 Thopter token production to crew your crew one cards. But Sky Skiff is still really flexible despite it not being good with green as a color itself. Because it's good with every other color, I think I still take it here as just a good colorless option for however this draft goes. I mean, maybe green gets cut and we just get to be another sick blue-red tokeny energy deck. Shipwreck Moray is my favorite card out of this pack because it is a fine filler card for anything that cares about energy, which even if we do play the green, we could be a green-blue energy deck with cards like Greenbelt Rampager. But there's also, of course, that possibility, as I just said, of blue-red energy where the Moray plays well. So I like how it fits in with the cards we've taken so far. Pick 8, Fireforge's Puzzle Knot, Metallic Rebuke are quite solid. I like Rebuke a lot. Most blue decks have a decent amount of servo and Thopter production to have some artifacts sitting around. Your Prophetic Prisms sitting around, your Sky Skiffs sitting around, those also help pay for it. Make it a very efficient mana leak style spell. Pick 9, a little bit more fixing here with Renegade Map to get that splash going really easy. And then pick 10 Self-Assembler because I'm the luckiest person ever and I'm in a really good draft pod. Please, fingers crossed one time. No, Somebody took the self-assembler. Somebody likes good cards. I'll take the Ether Theorist here over the Puzzle Knot, but these are both pretty fine cards. There's lots of 1 toughness cards you can chip away at. Servos, Thopters, 2 1s with First Strike. 1 damage is actually deceptively good in the format, but I'm certainly much deeper blue than red, and this is basically a colored spell. It's basically a red card, although the Prism and the Self-Assembler, or sorry, the Prism and the Renegade map do help towards that, obviously. But I like Theorist a lot in decks that care about energy, and blue-green is definitely one of those decks. I mean, blue, green, and red are all the most energy, not energy efficient, the most energy consuming colors in the formats. So this is like the color you'd want to be splashing in a blue-green deck. I think this is a really solid looking start to this draft. I'm pretty happy right now. No removal here, just 1 counter spell, but I've got a bunch of quality cards here, just waiting to get cast. Pick 11, another Metallic Rebuke is pretty sweet. Gearseeker Serpent not bad either, but Gearseeker Serpent, it's a little bit more important that you're actually very deep on artifacts than the Rebuke. Even casting Rebukes for 3 plays fine later. So I think Gearseeker Serpent's a little bit more narrow than a Rebuke. Pick 12, Planar Bridge. Thank you for the gems. Over the little unsummon effects. Unsummon on only a tapped creature is very narrow. Solvent for the world's most filler removal. 7 mana I think is just too much. I pretty much always cut this. I don't think I've ever run it. Same problem with Planar Bridge. But at least with Planar Bridge, once you hit 8 mana, you kind of just win. Get the best permanent in your deck. And then it's like, well, if they can't kill you through drawing the best permanent in your deck, then you just do it again next turn. And it's like, well, if you put the best permanent in your whole deck on the board, they probably can't kill you that turn. Speaking of best permanent to your whole deck, Whirler Virtuoso is going to be one of them to go with our Maverick Thopter. It's just another way to spit out a bunch of 1/1 flying Thopters. A great way to use all this energy we're getting out of Ether Theorists and Mores and stuff. Very, very happy with Whirler Virtuoso as our pack 2 pick 1. The best cards in this pack outside of that are Ether Swooper, Great Blue Common, Daring Demolition for removals, pretty good, and then another Sky Skiff for flexibility, but already 1 card deep into the blue-red splash. Let's take another one. I mean, I'm only 2 cards deep into green. It's worth noting, I'm only 2 cards deep into green, and this was my pack 1 pick 1, my pack 1 pick 2. So we're definitely not married to the color. We could end up just being the streamlined blue-red energy deck here, and just not even worrying about the green spells, if that looks like the spot to be. I mean, blue certainly looks like the spot to be from what we've seen. Red a little less so. Like a Fireweaver would be fine here, but we haven't seen any like really explosive red outside of the blue-red uncommons, really. So pick 2, I like Thriving Turtle a lot for the energy decks. Gives you some energy. If you're curving out with a bunch of energy cards, I've attacked with this thing as like a 4/7 later in the game, which is pretty fun. I like the turtle just getting that beef going, but Gearseeker Serpent also good in the archetype for sure. But I'm going to go energy deep here. I think Turtle's going to be better if we're blue-green, and Gearseeker's going to be better if we're blue-red. But I think Gearseeker's only going to be like slightly better for blue-red, and Thriving Turtle's going to be way better for blue-green, because we're just going to be so much lighter on artifacts there with the less Servo and Thopter production for the Gearseeker Serpent's ability. See, blue-green is like the Armorcraft Judge, Thriving Turtles and Thriving Rhinos kind of deck, where you're attacking with stuff with using your energy to put +1/+1 counters on the board. Blue-red is about using that energy to put servos on the board and Thopters on the board and stuff, getting all those little artifact things out. And I think the way this draft is going, I want to take Ether Torch Renegade over Armorcraft Judge towards blue-red energy. This is a pretty pivotal point where we could decide between these 2 cards, or we could take the Coward's route and take Inventor's Goggle, which would be good either way, but better in blue-red for sure. I'm going to take the Renegade. I'm going to lock in here. Do some blue-red energy stuff. There's Gearseeker Serpent for the top of the curve. Puzzle Knot also fine. Prism also fine. Fireweaver also fine. Very solid all around. I hope I haven't missed any self-assemblers. I think the only one that I passed was our pack 1, pick 2. If I passed any others, then that's tragic, because the second copy is very, very important. Self-assembler has definitely seemed weaker this time around than it used to be, because it sounds like the jig is up and everybody knows. I probably talk about it way too much, and everybody that talks about this format talks about it way too much. So if anybody's watched anybody drafted or asked anybody drafting about it, then they'll know about self-assembler. So it's really hard to end up with like the 4 self-assembler decks that were so insane in the past. Theorist might be just more consistent than Ether Thief, but pay 3 energy, draw a card's a really, really good energy sink. So I'm going to take the Thief here and try that. See if we can't get high enough on energy for it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Theorist is just the better pick there. Okay, here's Leaving the Dust. Fine interaction, fine bounce. Good with all these rebukes. Pick 7, we'll take a Puzzle Knot on this one. If you can't find the Pyrohelix, the Puzzle Knots play a fine approximation of it. Pick number 8. I like Ether Meltdown here. Gives us some energy while kind of being a removal spell, dealing with something that just cares about the damage it's doing. Disallow's fine, honestly. I think Metallic Rebuke's probably just better in this format. But Ether Meltdown is certainly better. Pick 9. Skyskiff is good in this archetype. Hinterland Drake's also okay. Unfortunately, it looks like we are in a very high-quality draft pod where everybody's drafted this format a few times. There's no self-assemblers flying around. There's no Ether Swoopers, no Ether Chasers. Everybody is taking the premium commons very, very highly, so it's going to be a little harder to find those good servo producers, which is awkward for me in this blue-red deck. I got one more pack. I basically want to spend the whole pack getting creatures. I want to take Ether Swoopers and Ether Chasers incredibly highly, Self-Assemblers incredibly highly. I would pack 1, pick 1, either of those cards. Having to choose between the two is rough, but you know me, I'm going to choose Self-Assembler if I can choose between a Swooper and an Assembler. Because again, if I don't get the second copy, I don't even get to run the first. I have to cut another card out of this deck. Okay, no Self-Assembler. Do I at least get an Ether Chaser or an Ether Swooper? No. Complete miss on creatures, but we find fine removal like Ether Meltdown and Chandra's Revolution. I really like getting some energy while I'm killing some stuff. The Meltdown doesn't permanently kill stuff, but I think the energy is worth it, especially in a double Ether Thief deck. This is going to be a little awkward. I definitely don't want a third Skyskiff without the servo producers in this deck, without those two drops helping us out there. So I am taking another creature that's too small to crew the skiff, sadly. But I like that over Brawler. This deck looks pretty defensive, pretty late game oriented, just topping things off with Gear Seekers. Pack 3, pick 3. Fireweaver would be fine. A 2-drop, 3 toughness card that's also big enough to crew Sky Skiffs later. I'm not so sure about a third Gear Seeker Serpent. That feels real hefty on the top end here. Or a second Moray. Yeah, I'll go for a Fireweaver, even in a deck that has a little bit less of that ideal token production. Okay, Brawl's Expertise is sick. I like Aether Torch Renegade a lot too, but this card is nasty in this format. Tons of Servo and Thopter production, so sometimes you just get to kill a few tokens and then cast something. But even if you're bouncing a few creatures, like bounce, it's like a one-sided board bounce, right? Where your opponent has to recast all their stuff. But you don't pick up any of your own stuff with this. It's like a Cyclonic Rift if your opponent has 3 or less like important online permanents, which is honestly somewhat often in draft. Pick 5. I'll go ahead and take a Sweatworks Brawler this time, get a little bit more mid-rangey damage coming in. I've got 5 2-mana or less creatures here, a couple cheap removal spells between Meltdowns and a Puzzle Knot. I think I'm doing decent at those 1 and 2 mana plays, unless we find like a really premium one, like a Chaser or Swooper, but this is not the draft pod. The draft pod for that, it looks like. So I'll take a Brawler. Pick number 6 is nothing for us. I could just play the 2 mana 2/2. But I think I just cut this. No, I'll play that over a Renegade map at least. Or over the self-assembler because we didn't get a second copy. Tragedy strikes. Yeah, cut self-assembler before anything else then. Nimble Innovator, fine filler playable. I'll play over Renegade map here. Nothing really to splash in off of the Prophetic Prism. So maybe I actually cut... Oof, we got a Welding Sparks too? Okay, I cut both Prism and Renegade map then and run the Sparks. This wouldn't be the worst 17 land deck though with expensive Gear Seeker Serpents. But I got some improvised stuff going on there, some affinity stuff going on there. The curve's relatively low. I think that's the main final change to the deck, is like, do I want to just cut one spell for a creature? Or for a land? I could just cut a construct for a land, because it's such a filler card in the main deck in the first place. I think that's really reasonable. Yeah, I'll just cut a construct for a land. Go 17 lands to help get that high mana value, because I also need like the 6 to activate these, even if I cast them for really cheap. Tezzeret's Touch can be fun. I just don't think it's consistent enough to be splashing that off of our 2 random splash artifacts. It's not consistently like good enough. So I'm just gonna not play it here. But I played Double Puzzle Knot. Might be better than Nimble Innovator? Sure. Pick 11, another Moray. Is that better than anything in here? Not really. Maybe the Fire Weaver, but like having the cheap stuff. I guess now I've got Double Meltdown, Double Puzzle Knot. Got all that going on. Sure. I'll drop Fire Weaver. Okay, I'm not going to run 3 Morays, though. Alright, we just have a deck here. This is a very different blue-red deck from our last one, actually. We may be playing the same strategy we've already played, but it's this is a much more grindy, late-game-oriented one, where our last one was very aggressive. Very tempo aggro there. Yeah, looks like a pretty cool deck. Lots of interaction here. Double Puzzle Knot, Double Meltdown, Rebuke, Sparks, Leave in the Dust, Expertise. Good top end. Serpents, Thopterus, Morays. Very, very solid. Much more controlling version of the Is It deck today. So excited to see how this does. Without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay. Here we are on the play for game 1. Nice controlling hand as we expect from this deck here. I think the Ether Thieves are going to be awesome here since we got like Double Meltdown, these Morays and stuff. I get to flash this in, block some damage, get an energy, then I get to play a Meltdown, get 2 more energy, and that's enough to draw the card the turn after I play the Thief. If I Meltdown turn 3. Okay. I do kind of need to wait on the Thief, I think, and get the energy off the attack so that the 3 energy stacks into drawing the card. If they play anything with a good enter effect, we rebuke it. If they don't, we just wait for Meltdown. The way our deck plays, we need to counter that. In most matchups, I wouldn't really be scared about Fabrication Module because the card is so slow. But our deck is going to make every matchup a really slow matchup, where that will grind out value over a long game. Rogue Refiner, excellent value play. 2 energy and draw a card. I'm jealous. Set up a really good block with Ether Meltdown. But I can also just get another energy for my Thief. Start drawing some cards. Pima Outrider, welcome to the board. I would love to see them attack here. On board, Moray can only be a 2/3, so it's really whether they want to attack into all this open mana. they do. So I'm going to just get my energy here. Start drawing my cards next turn. Man, even if we go 0-3, I feel like this is going to be a long draft. We're going to be chilling with this deck. 5-5 Outrider's fine. We make it a 1-5. Skyship Plunderer. Tempted to melt down that now. Because that's going to keep giving them counters on the Outrider or energy tokens. But my Moray is not big enough to kill the Outrider here. I think I need to draw the card. Hope I hit something, and if I don't, I do need to melt down the Outrider. Alright. Got some puzzle knots in here for Plunderer. But I'm not finding them. I have 2 Puzzle Knot, Aether Torch Renegade, Welding Sparks, Whirler Virtuoso. Got a lot of really legit ways to stop that. Do I draw right now in case I hit a sorcery way to do it? I don't think I do. Because I think I need my blockers up to block both the 3 power creatures here. I'm doing the math and I've drawn 3 spells and 10 lands this game. Please, Ether Thief. Oh, I should have done it at sorcery speed. Well, I get to cast 4 spells now. Oh, wait, no. I did play 4 because I also played a Meltdown. 4 spells and 10 lands. And this will be number 5. Okay, this is bad. I mean, expertise with no other spells is just not going to accomplish much here, especially when their cards have enter effects, but we'll get rid of both the counters on that at least. On the Revolutionary. We don't want to bounce the Rogue Refiner, though. Fashionably late Puzzle Knot. Could return my own Puzzle Knot this way. Could go Puzzle Knot. I don't think I get to bounce my Puzzle Knot and then cast it for free. Because I think I have to choose a mana value 4 or less spell for my hand when I cast this, rather than once I bounce the cards. I'm not sure. I guess I'm going to find out how it works. If it would let me replay the Puzzle Knot off of its ability, then I should have pinged Refiner, so I could kill the Refiner there. And bounced the 2-1 instead. But if it doesn't let me recast Puzzle Knot, then this is the way that we should play it. Okay, it would have let me replay Puzzle Knot. That's awkward. So yeah, we could have killed the 3-2 without sacking the Puzzle Knot, and then I have the Puzzle Knot sitting around to shoot the Plunderer when they recast it. So yeah, that could have been actually pretty incredible. It felt like the kind of thing where you have to like choose all of your targets when you put the spell on the stack, but I guess you don't. Yeah, it's just you may cast a spell. Upon resolution of this spell, you may cast a spell from... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't have to choose when I cast it. I understand now. I mean, I still get to kill both of them, right? It's just now I take a hit from Refiner first. Because the play was like, kill Refiner first, then Puzzle Knot is sitting around to kill the Plunderer later. This was kill Plunderer first, and now I can use both abilities to kill Refiner later. So, I mean, it doesn't play astronomically worse or anything. So, yeah, this was a really good position to learn how that works. Because all that really happens here is I take an extra 2 damage for doing that. That's not the biggest punishment in the world. I still kill both of the cards. It's not like I miss a kill here. Yeah, and then this next Puzzle Knot wouldn't have killed anything else either way. Because I'd have spent this Puzzle Knot already to kill Refiner plus Plunderer. I could kill Revolutionary, but then I get another counter on Outrider. I think I'm just holding on to this thing. Dying real fast. They're too beefy, and I've drawn too few spells this game. Especially early on. Kind of let them get a pretty big board while I'm sitting there casting basically nothing. Might as well send the whole team in, right? I'm gonna say I don't understand what the massive hesitation is here. Maybe I'm just the only person who knows Mori very, very well. So they're like, wait, can Mori be a 3/4? No, it's a 2/3. Okay. So I guess our Mori was too high toughness for this to have gotten a kill unless they used it post-combat, so that's what's happening here. Okay. Yeah, I'm dead. Unless this draws something relevant immediately. Oh. 0-1, heading into game 2. Here we are on the play for game number 2. Hoping to steal a little Ether Chaser or an Ether Poisoner from our opponent. Some kind of 2 mana 1 toughness card, and this hand is wonderful. No, not the Swooper. Not the Swooper. Not the 2 toughness card. No. Well, that's rough. Here's Renegade, though. That stacks into the damage we need. Renegade pings plus Puzzle Knot pings. Salivating Gremlins. Do they attack and then not make a servo so they can save the servo for Gremlins next turn? Indeed. Indeed, indeed. Well. Then I'm just going to kill that before it can make a servo. Hold up Rebuke here as well. Reckless Fireweaver, sure. Jam for 2, that's it. Jam for 2, that's it. So we can now drop the Theorist and still have Rebuke up. Can't do that with Thopterist. If I Thopterist, I have to tap out entirely. So I'll be chilling on that for later. Counter their Thopterist, that's huge. That would have been real nasty with gremlins out too. Could double block plus ping. They kill my renegade, but I kill their gremlins. Probably not worth it. Oh, I should have blocked with Deers. What am I doing? Just clicking too fast. Okay, expertise is huge. Foundry Inspector doesn't do much. The 3-2 hanging out. There's an artifact for the gremlins. Weld fast monitor. Sure, trample me. I kind of don't want to block with Thopter's here because I would love to Brawl's expertise it back, but I think I'm taking so much damage here I have to just do the thing. Cheap Gear Seeker Serpents. 9 life. Let's think it have Menace. Block, block, boop, block, boop, block, boop. Send 1 in. Yeah, I've got an odd number of energy here. Ether Torch Renegade takes an even number, so it needs to. I've got 1 left over that's not really useful for anything but scrying. Should go for the scry here this end step. Okay, I've got the Welding Sparks for that. I don't think I'm going to scry this turn then, because I don't care what I draw. I'm just going to Welding Sparks the Regent. And that draw is awesome, anyway. Start getting the Serpent Jams in. And things are looking good this game. Even made some misplays here, some punts, but we're vibing. There's a concession from our opponent. They dropped the Chaser, and they're like, wait a sec, they're just going to die to Renegade? Yep. Huge work from Ether Torch Renegade that game, and the Gear Seeker Serpent finisher. We are 1-1 heading into Game 3. Here we are for Game 3. No blue source in the hand. We have a Puzzle Knot. Sky Skips with nothing to crew them. If I hit blue, I have a Thopterus that I can improvise out really easily. For whenever I do find the blue source, and I'm on like 10 islands, right? Yeah, I'm on 10 islands. I think I keep this on 10 islands. Oh, we found the island immediately. Let's go. Well, now this hand is incredible. That was funny, because I almost accidentally said good game in response to their hello, and then they genuinely went hello, good game. Just on purpose. Eddie Trailhawk, 2 toughness. Rude. Let's get my counter here. Surprise, I'm a red deck fool. Woo! Puzzle Knot. That's a play that really shows off the value of hidden information, of even just not playing a basic. Because the second I drop a mountain there, they're thinking about Chandra's Pyre Helix, they're thinking about Fire Forger's Puzzle Knot. So it's genuinely just better to not play any lands. Attack with Turtle. Because Turtle has an ability that's beneficial on the attack, so it looks like, oh, they just want to get the counter for later. But it's like, no, I would really like to kill your Eddy Trailhawk. And that's a block, honestly, if I was opponent, I would make 9 out of 10 games also. I just be like, alright, yeah, sure, block. But even if you don't have the puzzle knot in hand, if you're like a blue-green deck or something, that's something to consider, is that like, well, that's another game where it would be better to keep that information hidden because they're more likely to not block if they think you might have the puzzle knot, you know? If you're just trying to sneak in free damage while getting your counter. No, I don't get any free damage. That's fine. I don't think we need the turtle up on blocks at all, because I feel it's better for them to scry than just get 1 extra point of damage from this theorist, so I don't think we're getting attacked. I don't think there's any reason not to send turtle in there for the bluff. Implement of Examination is a draw 2 here. So they're going to scry 1, then draw 2 is the plan. They'd rather hit me for 1 than scry before the draw 2. Very fine with that. Thopterist, let's go. They do not have Rebuke up because they only have 1 to improvise with. Alright, we got a super nasty board now. Bounce the skiff, sure. So I guess they could just cry 1 off of that too. But they could have scried 2. Land for turn. Pop the implement, draw 2. Really easy to forget about the Fireforger's puzzle not ping. So we do want to account for that on our future attacks here. Where I can stack into 3 damage with a Maverick Thopterist. Or I can ping the servo if they go for like a double block on Thopterist to try to kill it. Stuff like that. I feel like it's better to just cast 2 Sky Skiffs at this rate, though. Like, I don't think I'm getting any damage in on the ground. Like, our 1-4 is gonna hang out with their 1-3, and then just trade 2-2s to play around the puzzle knot. Scry 1. Scry to the bottom. Dawn Feather Eagle, that's a big one. Best common in white, best reason to play white in my opinion. Huge, huge, huge top end. It holds off all the flyers. Okay. Could built to smash to kill a Sky Skiff here if I block the 2-2 with a Sky Skiff. Or built to last, whatever. It's like +2/+2 or +3/+3. I feel like it's more likely that they have that trick than that they punted on this attack, to where I'd rather they just like eat the turtle here. Okay, I mean they've got something at instant speed, but that could just be Theorist's ability. Down to 15. Okay. Not the loveliest draw. So that trick only works on attacks. The 1 white mana trick, so I can attack both here, and if they block, kill the eagle. If they don't block, play a moray. They have a second eagle after this, that's going to be rough. Because then they'll have definitely a counter attack here. Scry 1. But we've got the flyer out of the way for all these Thopters and the Sky Skiff. They just pass. Excuse me. Stomach's being angry with me. Crew up a skiff. Jam in for 4 in the sky. Drop a moray on blocks. Sure, kill the skiff. So now we're just poking for 2 a turn, but we're still in the aggressive lead here. They would not be casting removal spells if they're sitting on a board wipe in their hand, so not worried about overcommitting with the moray. Moray's really nice on attacks here too. Because if they don't block it at all, we can just hit them for 4. If they block it with just a 2/2, I can make it a 2/3. Like if they block it with just 1 of anything. So like going wide makes it pretty difficult to block the moray profitably for them. If I attack with only the moray, they could just like block with all 3, and then I don't really have any good way to buff it. Alright, leaving the dust, pretty good draw. That was definitely the scry to the top. Kill a flyer plus draw a card. And then they also have the revoke privileges for the eel. Alright, well I'll still have the energy all left over for the second one. Okay. Poke. Put them to 12. Yeah, we're ahead in life total, we're ahead on board, we're ahead on energy, we're both scrying before every draw. Our opponent will have to get considerably better draws to win this game. We're tied in cards. They've got 1 in hand, I've got 1 in hand that I'm playing right now. Alright, scry to the top. Dawn Feather Eagle. Yeah, that is a very good start. A very, very good draw. Another Ether Theorist. So they have 4 more turns of scrying. Well, 4 total turns of scrying. 3 more from the Theorist. No attacks, let's go. Theorist scry. Find an island, put it on the bottom. Untap, Theorist scry. Looking for something relevant ASAP. Island, put it on the bottom. Draw for turn. Ether, Meltdown. That's relevant, but not super exciting. Try to use it well off of an attack here. Block with 2 of them. Yeah, that works. We probably just need to melt down the eagle. But that attack opens them up to some potential punt blocks. Basically blocking with just like any single creature would play really badly for them. We do have double Ether Thief in this deck. That would be like really good with all this energy. 3 draws. Gear Seeker Serpents are obviously incredible draws. There's a lot of great gas still left in the deck. Ooh, Whirler Virtuoso. Wee! Four 1/1 flyers. Their only flyers is 0/3. Start hitting for 3 a turn in the sky. Let's go. That's what energy is all about. Turn some of your random decent cards into insane top decks. Like Whirler Virtuoso and Shielded Ether Thief also would have been a pretty insane draw. Ooh. Might just get bombed out of it, though. Aetherstorm Rock is a massive issue. They get an energy for every creature they play. When it attacks with 2 energy, they put a counter on it and tap something. That is brutal. Should still have a lot of ways to deal with that. Spark Spiral's expertise, leave in the dust. Another Meltdown. Decent. Decent odds. Do I get rid of Summoning Sickness here in case I hit any of those? I think I need to make the flyers right now, so that if I hit any way to deal with the rock, I'm immediately jamming damage. The only reason to leave energy here would be to scry more. But I think it's just going to be one really, really important scry, basically. Come on, Theorist, I believe in you. Gets the island out of the way. That's a huge chunk of lands we've shoved to the bottom now. Rebuke! It's way too late for Rebuke. I mean, they only have 7 mana out, actually, so it's possible we Rebuke an Eagle later or something, but not the Aetherstorm Rock. We pass? So they could attack and activate. This is a 4/4 flyer tapping one of ours. We have 4 1/1 flyers. We block with all 4 and kill it. If I attack with all 5, they eat 1 and only take 3 damage. Oh no. Yeah, I sadly don't have any bombs, like any bomb rares, bomb mythics, so they could win the top deck war with just a single card here. Like so. There's the Spire Patrol with the mana up for it, so that they can tap 2 things and get the rock in. So I can't quad block the rock and kill it, which means next time it attacks it's a 5/5 and I can't block. What a sequence of draws. Rock into Spire Patrol to just lock that off. Cool. You got it. We still have outs here, but we have to hit our sparks or expertise or something immediately. Oh boy, oh boy. Only play is to pass. I guess I don't get to tap somebody this time, but I'd be out of flyers to deal with Spire Patrol at this point. I think I've got to draw the interaction to deal with the rock. Well, how many puzzle knots I got? I still have one puzzle knot in the deck that could kill the Spire Patrol, but not the rock. But it is only the one. I mean, I'm at 11. I'll probably take a couple of these hits towards drawing into something like that. Alright, I have a lot more ways to kill the rock than the patrol, so I think... Or to kill the patrol than the rock, so I think I kill the rock here. And then we just find a way to kill patrol and play like one Gear Seeker Serpent to try to win off that. At this point. That's interesting. I can bounce my Moray, my Thopterist, and their Servo. I take one more hit from Spire Patrol, and then I have a million flyers out. I'm 1 mana off from the Maverick Thopterist here for the turn. Go 2/2 and 1/3 there. Then just go put like a 1/3 in front of Moray and stuff. I don't think there's attacks here. We go activate Virtuoso Scribe. We're going to 2 life off this attack from opponent. But then I'm resolving the Thopterist and they don't have flying attacks from that point on. Ditch the land. There's the Gear Seeker finisher. There's going to be 2 artifacts on the board that makes Gear Seeker cost double blue and 1. Rebuke is not going to counter anything. They have 9 mana. Unless they cast a 7-drop, Rebuke counters nothing. So I'll play Gear Seeker 2 to speed up the clock. And then try to kill them with that. 2 swings of that'll end the game. If I poke them for 1 here. Oh, I can't because Eagle just blocks. Oops. Oops. Only matters if they kill one of my Thopters. So hopefully we don't get punished for that. But that was definitely an oops. They do send in the patrol. We take the trade. Get domed by a combat trick even if I triple block. Okay, we wouldn't have gotten super domed by impeccable timing. We're still winning the race here, at least. But we are punished for the attack. Although, honestly, I probably would have still double blocked instead of triple blocked, because if they didn't have anything in their hand, then triple blocking would be worse because they just eat all three. Okay, is there a way to get a damage in here while still having like infinite blockers on the ground? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to attack with 4 creatures to get one in because of menace. So 1, 2, 3. 4. And I still have the 3 blockers up. Okay, if they top deck removal for this last flyer, I just die. But if not, then I win. So we go block, 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 take menace hit or something. No matter what, they take 1 point of damage here, correct? Block, 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 menace. Yeah. Okay. Then I have 3 blockers up for the 3 ground creatures, 1 blocker up for the flyer. I die to removal, even if I hold up infinite blockers on the ground because they use the removal on the Thopter. Alright. And I don't think that punt last turn mattered because I'm fairly confident I would have, even if I had all of the flying Thopters untapped last turn, I would have only double blocked this Fire Patrol and then still been in this position where I only have 1 Thopter left to chump the patrol with. Okay, they're dead to 1 Gear Seeker hit. Final top deck, it's a blind draw. Attack with patrol, chump the patrol. That draws removal for the ether thing or the or if it's removal for the ether thing, they would have used it on the Thopter. But just in case, we'll send all. Okay, I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if they have some random nonsense left with the intense GG spamming from turn 1 of the game. Like, GG kind of becomes meaningless at that point, so I was not sure if they were conceding or not. Alright. That is 2-1, I believe, for this deck. A very long, very drawn-out game 3 on that one. All right, here we are for game 4. Pretty solid opener. We are on the draw with it. They play something good for us to puzzle knot. That'll be nice because we can puzzle knot into 3-mana brawler, which is always a good curve. If not, we'll just set up the Theorist and start setting up our draws. Green deck. Green deck is pretty unlikely to have a 1 toughness card turn 2. Unless they're Golgari or Gruul. But they're Simic, so there are very few 1 toughness cards in that color pair. Rough matchup for Puzzle Knot. Yep, Ether Theorist certainly too beefy. I'm gonna go damage here. Get the Menace card out ASAP, just play the Sky Skiff into it instead of the Puzzle Knot into it. Most aggressive line we can go for. Now I kind of want to block Voyager with Sky Skiff, because if I don't, they get 2 energy every time that hits us. That's a really good card. Yeah, I gotta force them to have some kind of interaction to get that in. Or That energy production is going to be a lot to deal with. Make all their energy cards insane. No, they've got the +1/+1 counter for it. Everything's lining up well for our opponent here, and very poorly for us. We've got issues, for sure. There's Theorist. Number 2. They have 10 energy already. They basically have a blank check when it comes to energy in this game. Why do they have a stop on our upkeep? Are they playing in full control mode or something? They're like completely tapped out. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have the interaction to do anything here. We're just going to play a brawler and pass, and we're sitting here getting beat down. I could poke them for 2 with my Sky Skiff, instead of holding Theorist up as a blocker, I guess. I definitely want to have Brawler up as a blocker. The 3/3 stops them from attacking with any of these ground troops. But I mean, I guess I could play Ether Thief and Puzzle Knot instead, but Puzzle Knot doesn't do anything until I can sack it in the same turn. Yeah, no, I'm just going to play Brawler. And scry, be chilling on blocks as best as I can. Technically, currently, all we really need is to find a way to deal with the Voyager. The problem is, even if we deal with that, our opponent is locked in to draw much better than us because they're scrying 2 every turn for at least the next, like, 4 turns off of this Voyager. 5 turns, because they'll have 10 energy off of it hitting this turn. Oh. Well, we found the Puzzle Knot target. Because that will mill us so fast with all this energy. Alright, there's Thriving Rhino. Oh my god, we're so dead. Imperial Voyager. Massive, massive MVP here. Because they just have 1,000,000 energy, so like, anything that threatens to spend that energy well is going to demolish us. So I have to kill the Minister to not get milled out. Which means that I allow them to keep the Thriving Rhino on board. Which I'm forced into a rough double block to kill, because if that sticks around, then it becomes just insurmountably large. So, I mean, good draw is good. Ether Meltdown can functionally deal with that Voyager and stop it from giving them any energy, which is huge. And I already have the double block set up for the Thriving Rhino, so they have to draw into another threat. The issue, as I've been saying, is that it's pretty easy for them to draw into another threat with 14 scries available. If I top deck like perfectly and hit like a couple rebukes in a row or something, that'd be good. Oh no, they hit the, well, I would say immediately, but they've been scrying a ton. They hit some kind of instant speed trick or something, but I can't not try to kill this Rhino. I'm going to try to kill it with the Sky Skiff instead of the Theorist, because I think that the body that I don't have to crew is pretty relevant. I don't need any other creatures around to be able to be blocking with a Theorist. Oh, sick. Alright. We actually get the kill, and now they go for the scries. Scry to the bottom. Scry at the bottom. They hate their deck. Just put it all on the bottom. Scry 27. 27 to the bottom. Alright, we are chilling. And starting to draw a ton of cards off of Ether Thief, I think. Is the strats. Because I will have 6 energy, which is enough for a draw 2 on the Thief. Just straight up drawing the card is better than scrying, so we keep all the energy for that instead. Which means I do get to crew here, because I'm not going to scry anyway. And I don't need to block a 0-power Voyager. Scry to the bottom. There must be like a gear Hulk in there or something. They're like scrying for something very specific, because I really feel like they scryed like the last 8 cards or something to the bottom. Scry to the top. Okay, they found something specific. So this is going to be terrifying, whatever it is, with how frequently they've been scrying to the bottom. It's going to be something very good, I assume. Or they just hit like the mother of all land clumps before this. Some kind of removal. It's our Metallic Rebuke now. They're not attacking on the ground. It's not really relevant to hold this up as a blocker, so I'm just going to draw the card. Okay. I guess they get to poke us for 2. They attack with everybody. But yeah, they would definitely rather scry with Theorist. I mean, it must be just a whole ton of lands they put to the bottom, because they've only drawn 5 lands all game. So just tons of lands down there, specifically. Rebuke that. Another scry for our opponent. Scry to the bottom. Could be an argument for not countering the Armorcraft Judge, because the 3/3 body, I can block that all day long. Just kind of instinctually countered it because it's a 2-for-1. But it's like, I mean, they're scrying so much that they're not going to draw more lands. So, the Rebuke is going to stay relevant throughout the game. Do I even do anything with this expertise? If I bounce both of my energy-making cards, I can get enough energy off of the expertise to draw 1 more. Because I guess bouncing just Theorist does enough. But yeah, I could get 5 energy off these 2. I could actually bounce the Meltdown as well and then replay that. Because I've got 7 mana, so 5 for this, 2 to replay Meltdown. So I do that, replay Theorist for free, then replay Meltdown. That is some card draw. It's probably actually worth it. We still have a Leave in the Dust left over. It's like, oh, just a weird position all around. Oh, I can't bounce enchantments. Okay, well then I don't think I do that. It's a weird position all around for Brawl's expertise, that's for sure. Alright, we're just hanging out then, for now. Alright, Mega Mythic Bomb has landed. We gotta draw a way to interact with that ASAP. I guess I expertise that, and then I still have Leave in the Dust for later. And yeah, I can expertise that and the Theorist, and then use the Theorist energy to draw again. Don't really want to bounce from their cards. Bouncing one of their Theorists wouldn't be horrific, because they kind of already have infinite mana, or infinite energy. I guess I'm just going to bounce the turtle, though, for more energy of my own. Come on, some way to deal with Rashmi. Nope. They probably won't attack here, but maybe they will. And I get to get an energy off this Ether Thief. Confiscation crew my skiff. It's one of the weaker spots to confiscation coup. I don't mind that, because I get to just bounce it back to my hand. I'm going to crew here. This is going to get them to attack. I'll take a couple damage for doing this, but I'll get the energy. That's such like a weird line to crew it. But like now they might attack with Seed Sculptor, and I get an energy for free. And then that energy plus playing Thriving Turtle is the 3 energy I need for a servo off Virtuoso. Okay. They are not going to play into that tremendously suspicious line, sadly. Okay, show me spark thingy, please. Off the top. That's not the spark thingy. I definitely know what I'm talking about. You know the card, everybody. Spark thingy. I probably have to draw a card off of an Ether Thief instead of making a servo here. I do not have the artifacts for Improvising Rebuke, so I'll play the Turtle 2 instead. 1 energy away from another draw. Welding Sparks, let's go. Nope. Just 4 energy? That's 6 energy, which is enough to draw for both of these next turn. So next turn I can go Renegade, draw. Looking for a way to deal with Rashmi. Such a funky game of Magic. Still kind of surprised I'm still sticking around here. They've gone Confiscation Coup and Rashmi, and they started with a Voyager and Infinite Energy, and we're still hanging in there. Their deck has way stronger rares. I mean, Baral's expertise is probably about as strong. Oh my god, their deck is strong. Double Minister? So now even if I deal with Rashmi, I'm getting milled very fast. That's 3 mil a turn. They could mill 36 cards over time with the amount of energy they have. Minister of Inquiries is like a genuinely good mill win condition in this format. We've played a couple drafts winning with that. Not this time around. We haven't seen a lot of Ministers in our draft pods here, but last time I think that this came back. Okay, I don't think I scry because again I just play Renegade, draw. Would have been nice earlier. I don't think that's going to kill them fast enough at this point. I mean, if they're a super removal light deck, we kill them in 4 swings. I pay 8 to shoot them for 6. I kill them in only 2 swings. So if I draw into energy producers, maybe the plan is Gear Seeker Serpents. Plus... Gear Seeker hit them twice, plus ping them once with Renegade. I mean, honestly, at this point, that might be our best bet. Because even if Renegade hits the removal, I go Renegade, draw, I have my removal spell. I kind of have to hit Minister at this point with 15 cards left in deck, in which case they're just going to have a resolved Rashmi hitting them with the card advantage the rest of this game. Yeah, I think they're just kind of guaranteed to grind out the long game better than us. So I need to do what I can to maybe just sneak in a kill in just like 3 swings, which would involve Gear Seeker Serpent plus finding 1 extra point of damage somewhere. Or I could do it in 2 swings if I get the energy for the Renegade to shoot them to 4/6. And I do have 9 mana. Oh, scry to the top immediately. That's not a good sign. Goodbye, Gear Seeker Serpent. Okay, no. It's just an Imperial Voyager, which is really good. No, and it hits Malfunction to go right into their hand. Come on. Ah, you can't make it up. Land Malfunction, goodbye Gear Seeker. Sure, yeah, Mill3. No, my second Gear Seeker. Okay, I mean, they have been scrying. I mean, their bottom 10 are probably 10 lands with how much scrying they've been doing, so they don't have the Malfunction mana yet. 1 Gear Seeker swing. I think I keep the energy towards Renegade still. That's all the energy we need to shoot them for 6. But they just immediately hit the Malfunction. It doesn't matter, they just malfunction the Gear Seeker. I guess they could malfunction the Renegade instead. I don't know, I have to play out the Renegade because I have to make it a fast enough kill. For if they don't malfunction. Yeah, I mean, they could misplay here. It would be pretty difficult to misplay. Yeah, they malfunction Gear Seeker. Fair enough. I do have enough energy left in my deck. It's possible to get to 16 energy and shoot them with Renegade twice to kill them. Quite unlikely. There's the freaking welding sparks. But none of those were energy cards. So, a little bit of gas towards Renegade. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting 4 energy here, so I'll have 2 left over after this. So I just need to hit my other Moray and one of my 2 energy cards to potentially get the kill. That sure is not it. That's straight up our only out at this point. They've milled too much of our removal and win conditions. The only thing left for us is just draw exactly Shipwreck Moray and Ether Meltdown. That's exactly enough energy to kill them. So we gotta get astronomically lucky from here. I could make a few Thopters, but not enough getting around the double Voyager. One's bouncing every turn, one's dying every turn. Scry at the top means probably more removal. Deal with Renegade. Oh no, it's just a giant Hydra. Cool. Stop playing rares and mythics, opponents, please. I beg. I have 1 rare, and I feel this deck is the bombiest I've drafted. I think all my decks this time around have had a maximum of 1 rare. Okay, they just already have the removal, so there's nothing we can draw to get out of this now. Alright. I mean, we lasted infinitely longer than I ever thought possible. Before they played a single rare, they were already in a massive lead from Imperial Voyager plus the +1/+1 counter for just infinite scry off of the infinite energy. And then they just gotta rush me. So is what it is. We are 2-2, heading into game number 5 now. Getting crushed by higher card quality. Metallic Mimic, no. Here's Theorist to hold that back. The fact that they chose Artificer and they're on the play here is a really bad sign, because the Artificers in this format are the 3/3 Menace guy, the 2/1 First Strike. Like, any of those getting +1/+1 counters is really nasty. I mean, I've got Virtuoso for 2 Thopters here. They didn't play an Artificer yet, so they don't have the 3/3 Menace or the Ether Chaser or the Ether Poisoner or anything like that. So yeah, we just Virtuoso. Even if they kill it, I'm up a couple 1/1 flyers. It's going to be Chandra's Revolution, keep my island tapped. Nope, Scrapper Champion. Oh, okay, that's bad. There's the Artificer right there. 3/3 double strike already. It attacks, and it's a 4/4 double strike. Yikes. Get the Summoning Sickness out of here and draw one of our removal or bounce spells. Nope. And I'm 1 off from Gear Seeker, too. Tragedy. I mean, they kind of already resolved what I imagine is the biggest, scariest spell. But Rebuke is still good. I can Sky Skiff, have Rebuke up, still putting more flyers out, sorta. And then be able to Gear Seeker plus hold up Rebuke also next turn. Scrapper Champion, pretty awesome card. I think like the very first time I drafted the format was the first time I had a bunch of these. I had a few decks with Scrapper Champions, just jamming in for 1,000,000. No blocks. If they do some kind of combat trick to kill me, I can Rebuke that. Save the Theorist for a block later, because they can do a lot of different things to get 2 energy here, and then now it's a 5/5 hitting for 10, and then I can stop 10 damage next turn instead. That's the plan. Not another blue source, so I can't hold up Rebuke and play the Gear Seeker. We're playing against a black deck. I don't feel like playing Gear Seeker is likely to block Scrapper Champion unless I hit the next blue source. I really need to be able to play Gear Seeker and have the counter spell for any way they could have to destroy it. And I've got a few chumps here. Quite a few chumps, actually, for this champion over time. Weird timing, but okay. Well, now I will not crew the Skiff, because in order to hold up Rebuke, I need 2 untapped artifacts. Sack a creature, Planeswalker, discard a card. You return a creature from grave to hand, draw a card. Mini Cruel Ultimatum. I'm good on that. You can have my Theorist. I already played the Rebuke, so the island is useless now. Ooh, that's a card. That is a spell right there. So now the island would be useful, tragically. Kind of funny. But if I kept the island, I wouldn't be drawing this. Nom 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 nom. Delicious food for Moray. No. Why do the good die young? Tragic. Goodbye, my eel friend. You did so much work for me. They're down to a 2-1 and a 1-4 now, and I'm going to play a Gear Seeker Serpent on this board. We are so in this game thanks to you, Moray. Oh my god. Sure. That's a good draw. They're down to 3. Unblockable Gear Seeker kills them. Pacification array to stop Gear Seeker. They need 2 up to use that, though. So I can crew in a way where they die either way. They tap the Gear Seeker and die to the Flyers, or they tap the Flyer and die to Gear Seeker, and there's the concession. They just had no hard removal in hand, just the 1 pacification array, so get there in the end. Brawl's expertise there, actually playing at pretty much bomb power level. That was nice to make up for the spooky rares we've been running up against so far. We are 3-2, heading into game number 6, no matter what, at an even record at this point. All right, here we are for game number 6. We are 3-2. This is the deciding factor whether this is a positive record run and breaking even, or just a very, very average 3-3. I like this hand a lot. Theorist into Virtuoso is always pretty ridiculous. Minister's scary if the game goes long, and they're Demir to have a lot of removal to make it take some time, but I think our hand is decent at getting pretty aggressive early. Thanks again to Whirler Virtuoso here. They gotta consider potential Puzzle Knot from me, so we might get a free point of damage, and every point of damage is gonna matter here when we're trying to outrace Mill from our opponent. So, happy to sneak that 1 point in. They are Grixis, so they can have like a Pyro Helix of their own. That'd be a little rough. There's the Disintegration to kill Virtuoso, but I can still get 2 Flyers off of it first, so pretty happy here. With the work it's done, even if it dies immediately. Puzzle Knot off the top, let's go. Nope. Expertise is a pretty good card, though. Doesn't do a ton right now, but will once we have that 5th mana. They'll probably have played more blockers to bounce. I highly doubt they're going to let the 1 Theorist damage through this time, but Minister is very important. Okay, they do let it through. I'm going to sit here for a second so it really looks like I have an instant. It's a built to smash or something. If they blocked. Alright, they're going for it. The mill win has begun. They've milled an Ether Meltdown. That's actually kind of an awkward mill for us, because it's going to, even if they've never seen the card before, now let them look at it a little bit and think about us maybe having that card in hand, which we actually do. So hopefully don't think about it too hard. Alright, there's the expertise mana. I guess I take the free recast on Theorist to get some energy here then. I am giving them a recast on Minister this way. So I actually don't expertise this turn because they don't have any blockers in the sky. So there's no point. We just leave in the dust instead. Like, we're not getting out aggroed. So I don't really care about playing expertise until a turn where they're actually blocking some amount of damage. My Puzzle Knot goes away, that's tragic. They're out of energy now. I lied. They have infinite energy. Hello, Ether Torch Renegade. Well, if I just leave in the dust the Peafowl, we're just hitting for 4. We do that 3 turns in a row and we got the kill. That said, if I don't deal with the Renegade's going to start shredding my flyers, so I kind of think I have to Expertise and hit Peafowl and Renegade. That way Peafowl can't block and Renegade can't ping anybody next turn. So I go Crew. Yeah, now I go Crew and then bounce my own Theorist to recast. For some energy here. Oh, they could have Metallic Rebuke. That'd be rough. They do not, luckily. Sadly, I don't have my own Rebuke either, so if they have a Pyro Helix, it's going to go really hard. Oof, 3 non-lands. They've actually milled a lot more non-lands than lands, so our odds of flooding out are getting pretty high. Not scrying with Theorist because I'm using it to crew the Skiff. I get to put them to 4, but I don't have anything to stop them from blocking next turn. And 3 non-lands again. Really not liking our odds of draws right now. But I can't do anything about it. I can't scry when I need the Theorist to crew the Skiff to hit lethal. Yeah, I mean, when they mill 90% non-land spells, that's going to happen. There's just the flood. I can still melt down the Peafowl and hit for 2 here. Make a Puzzle Knot lethal, but I think they milled all our Puzzle Knots. I don't remember how many are in the deck, but they milled at least 1. Hit for 2. Check what's left here. Yeah, we have 2 Puzzle Knots in the deck. They milled 1. So top deck Puzzle Knot is lethal. Land, Rebuke, Renegade again. More non-lands than lands there. I'm down to 10 cards left, so it's probably... let's see. Okay, it's 4 lands and 6 spells. It's not horrendous. Welding Sparks and Puzzle Knot are my 2 lethal draws. Pretty much everything else relevant they've milled. I mean, we've technically got lethal on board, actually. They play 1 flying blocker and we hit with 2 things. Okay, I guess we win? I was sitting there trying to calculate how we get lethal if they kill one of our creatures, and then they just still couldn't somehow. Well, weird game of Magic that we somehow win with just a little bit of flyers, I guess. We take those, we're 4-2, guaranteed a positive win rate out of this draft, at least at that break-even point. But we're also only at least 1 win away from being in the money, so let's see if we can't get another win or 2 here as we head into round number 7. All right, here we are on the play for game 7. I've got the early Puzzle Knot if our opponent is on red or black are the best matchups, but anything that makes servos and thopters and stuff, which is most colors. Pretty much anything but green will be fine. Red is a great one. We will likely find puzzle knot targets. We definitely get an energy off of the Ether Thief. Blue-red, that is a solid color pair for puzzle knot to play against. Get my energy. Sky Skiff is the draw. Just gonna Virtuoso. Think I would rather get a 1/1 flyer than draw one card here. Maybe it's better to draw a card against red, because they can have their own puzzle knots and pyro helixes and the like. Yeah, maybe we just go beef in this matchup. Looking for morays and gear seekers and stuff. I'm gonna draw the card. It's kind of weird, but that's my plan. Thriving Turtle to draw another card. And if we hit land for turn, we do. Here's Sky Skiff. Nimble Innovator, draw a card from opponent. There's Welding Sparks. Nothing to really shoot with that right now anyway. I want something to be able to crew the Sky Skiff easily while still holding up good blocks. Tempted to like Moray and then actually do put a Thopter out. If I have just like one Thopter out, it's not that bad if they have a Pyro Helix. Because they still just Pyro Helix one card. It's not like they're killing two Thopters with one thing. Tezzerat's Ambition, just straight up draw 3. Alright, we're jamming over here. Let's hit for 3 then. Ooh, Ether Meltdown. Gives me the energy I need to make another Thopter or draw another card. I've got enough beef elsewhere to crew with Virtuoso now then, to hold my blue up. Moray plus Meltdown could kill like anything. My issue with that play is if they don't block Moray, I'm just not going to do anything with it. Okay, they have a million cards in hand. They'd have to discard the hand size if they don't play anything. Pia Nalar, well, she's gotta die. She's one of those really nice rares where she's a 2-for-1 no matter what, so even if I kill her, they got value out of her with that Thopter. Especially with Chief of the Foundry on the board. Yeah, that's rough. Oh my god. That is some high card quality out of nowhere. PNLR Pacification Array, 2 incredible magic cards in a row. Any artifact creature they control can get +1/+0 till end of turn with her. tap one of my things every turn. Oh, this is going to be a rough one. Getting through a pacification array. This is so weird, but I think I'm welding sparksing Chief of the Foundry so I can puzzle knot the Thopter and get all my flyers in. Unless they want to rebuke Sparks. They've only got one blue up though, so they can only rebuke one thing. Oh wait, no, they have Prism. But they don't have the artifact to rebuke twice here. Wait. Yeah, they don't, because they'd have to go Island, tap Array, tap Thopter, rebuke, and then their next rebuke, they'd have to tap the Prism to get the blue out of the mountain, which means they wouldn't be able to do both. They wouldn't be able to use Prism to get blue and use Prism to improvise. They can only cast one rebuke here, even if they have two. Okay, so I mean, they definitely have rebuke. Or something like it at that point. But they can't pay for it. Or, not they can't pay for it, but I can pay for it if they cast it on Puzzle Knot. Okay, so they're going to array down the Sky Skiff here, and we just poke for one this turn, I believe. But we can get them to tap out or array, so they can't rebuke our Brawler. Not that our Brawler's particularly good here, but it's better than Ether Thief and Meltdown, because they're not going to be attacking at all for us to melt down anybody anyway. And Inventor's Goggles for our opponent. Make their stuff chunky. It's a 3/5 Apprentice. Pass turn. Ooh, Thopterist is a good draw. I hate that they have Rebuke mana up, and it really seemed like they have a Rebuke, though. If I attack with nobody, I can play around Rebuke. If they have double Rebuke, they can get this. I feel like this is more than impactful enough to play around Rebuke for. Skip a turn of hitting them for one, because they would just pacify the Sky Skiff anyway. I'd poke them for one with the 1/1 Thopter, and then they'd still have Rebuke up main phase 2. Welding Sparks a single Thopter. That feels advantageous. Implement, draw 2. Yeah, they've got a lot of card draw over there. The draw 2, they played a draw 3 earlier, so they're keeping up. Even just like 1-for-1ing into the Thopters. The way this game has played out, though, honestly, just getting Thopters off Virtuosa looks like it might have been better, because they haven't played a Puzzle Knot or a Pyrohelix or anything. Which is really surprising, because those are really common in Red. But I'm pretty happy they haven't found those. Their own Thopterist. Well, there goes all that. Pretty happy with our puzzle knot here. And now I can get some Ether Meltdown value. There goes all their Thopters, and all ours are still around. And I get to make another one because I played Meltdown. Frontline Rebel, just a 3/3. Has to attack each turn of Able. That's actually a downside here, because they don't have any vehicles to crew with it to stop it from forced attacks. Although, the attack isn't awful. I just get a free energy every turn. And just keep blocking that with my 0/4. Oh, they can move the goggles around. That actually makes it play fine. They just put the goggles on the Rebel, and then I have to block with my Moray instead of my Ether Thief. Whirler Virtuoso MVP. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponent. They're so over it. That is 5-2. Another very positive record run. Another run where we're very much in the money here. Kaladesh drafts have been pretty sweet this time around. Don't watch the last one. 6 wins, 7 wins, and now at least 5 wins this time. Nothing happened last draft. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Pretty excited to see if we can't take this any further. But very happy with our record no matter what happens from here. We are 5-2, heading into game 8. Here we are on the draw for game number 8. This is a really nice, really solid defensive start. I get to play the Turtle and follow it up with Ether Thief to get the 3rd energy the Thief needs to draw the card. Start playing that grindy card advantage game plan. Sky Skiff from opponent. Looks like we're not going to be getting any Ether Thief energy here. So, just play the Sky Skiff. The question is, do I put a counter on the Thriving Turtle or not? Putting a counter on it means I can crew all my skiffs, and I've got a lot of skiffs, so I guess I am going to have to just do that. Because it'll be quite a while till I'm getting energy off Ether Thieves anyway, because if they attack next turn, it's just with a flyer. And they don't even attack with that. Okay. So they poke for 2 instead of 1, right? Sure. Play a Skiff pass. Got my interaction for whatever they play. Renegade map for some fixing. And then a land for turn. Okay. So they're probably going to Renegade map and drop something mildly spooky off of the splash. Based on how this game's played out, I don't think they would keep this hand if it had, like, nothing to play as a creature. Like a Skiff with nothing to crew it. A removal spell. They gotta have some kind of creature in there. Okay, it's the big old Fen Hauler. Fair enough. I've got 4 damage, but not 5 damage. I need to draw into another artifact to kill it, so I just slow it down for now. Hello, Gearseeker Serpent. Oh, I wish I had one more artifact. I would have been able to Welding Sparks that and then just cast Gearseeker. Well, Virtuoso gets that next artifact, 4 Welding Sparks and 4 Gearseeker. If I welding sparks the Fen Hauler this turn, they'll still have a Sky Skiff up on blocks, and I don't hit that much. Okay, Sly Requisitioner doesn't really do anything. Oh, it gives them a servo. That's true. Gives them like flyers, or nothing against flyers though. So now we're on the flyers game plan. Okay. I'm not going to Welding Sparks Requisitioner. We're definitely using that on Fen Hauler. That's kind of reserved for that. So we jam, and we cast a Gear Seeker Serpent. Why am I attacking with this? We don't actually get to jam here, because their skiff is up. Oop. The blue button, not the orange button. Click the blue button! Taps my Thriving Turtle for fun, you know how it is. No daring demolition, please. Self-assembler. We'll see how magical their Christmas land is here and see how many they manage to scoop up in their pod. They have at least 2. I can't hold up Rebuke and hit with Serpent. But I think I'm really just trying to outrace them, drawing into removal for Serpent. So I'm going to take every single swing I can with the Serpent here. Because if they have like a Welding Sparks to kill it, I can't do counter unless they pay 3. They just do that main phase 1 against all my open mana. Alright, so Hidden Stockpile is like... I don't know, I've never liked this card all that much. It's basically like you get to sack something, scry 1, and then get a 1/1 back in the end step. But it is like the black-white signpost build-around card. Oh, I really wish I top-decked a land. Because exactly 3 up is suspicious here. I was completely tapped out. If they had Welding Sparks to kill Serpent, they would have killed it while I was completely tapped out. Or they should have killed it while it was completely tapped out. In what universe do you wait for the blue deck to untap? That's genuinely tilting. I could have had Rebuke up for that. But I was like, if they were playing correctly, they would have just cast it while I was tapped out anyway if it was in their hand. It's not like they drew a card in their end step or anything, so I don't think we can play around removal when, again, they had the perfect opportunity to play around the counterspell and just kill it while we're tapped out. Like, the only reason we got punished is because they went for just the wrong line, basically. I was trying to find another way to say that didn't sound as rude, but I really don't think there was any reason not to kill that while we're completely tapped out when we're the blue deck. So I got punished for assuming that my opponent would have played it out correctly. Here's the Scry 1. Where are my opponents finding draft pods where they're getting past 3 self-assemblers? Puzzle Knot. not horrendous. Start going for sky skiff damage. I can puzzle knot the skiff if they crew. If they don't, I just hit here. I have Meltdown and Sparks up. Propeller Pioneer. Make a servo. Melt down a self-assembler. Block with an Ether Thief. Make a flyer. I think in this position, because we're trying to speed kill with our flyers right now. I hit for 4 this next turn. I think it's reasonable to make the flyer overdraw the card here, because I kind of know what I'm casting here with Puzzle Knot on Propeller Pioneer, Metallic Rebuke getting held up, or Welding Sparks. Another Meltdown is kind of sick. Just do the exact same thing next turn. Oh, I do need to play this Puzzle Knot before anything else, though. Now they know what I'm going to do if they block the Skiff. Although, it's probably they pilot Skiff and I cast Welding Sparks on it, actually. Sack to scry 1. Okay. Kill them in 3 swings. We hit them to 7, and then we hit for 4 in the sky. It's not good. Doing a 9. Oh, that's so good for me. Taps a bunch of their ground creatures too, so I could attack with Virtuoso maybe. Oh my god, yeah, I really can. That was a really smart auto tap from the Improvise, by the way. Shout out to the auto tapper doing something right here. Put them to 1. 1 damage from dead. They die to puzzle, not if they don't kill me. Oh boy. Oh boy. I thought we were not going to grind out that game against the scrying and stuff going on once we lost our Gear Seeker Serpent there. So, yeah, just really good draws, hitting a bunch more flyers, getting the outrace, and we are 6-2. Heading into the final battle again, another chance for a 7-win run. Yeah, that's 2 6-win runs and a 7 now. You know, and the run that shall not be named. If we get another win here, 2 7s would be insane for the record so far. Opponent starts with a mulligan. And we are on the play. Night Market Lookout's the first play. Well, here's going to be a good kind of stopgap for that. Just play the Theorist. If they play a Skyskiff, we got problems. Because that's the great combo for it. They play Gear Shift Ace, which Theorist is also great against. Play my own Skiff or just hold up the Ether Thief here. I'll hold up the Ether Thief. Flash that in towards drawing a card off of all the Theorist energy that we have. Black, white, and green. Alright. Interesting color trio. Not 100% sure exactly what to expect in the future here. Could just be like Orzhov aggro with like a Splashed and a Johnny or something. Or it could be green-white. It wouldn't be green-white Splash and a 1-drop. There's no way. Yeah, they've played a black 1-drop, a white 2-drop. This is probably Splashed green. Glint Sleeve Artisan, sure. Super wide board. That's what Orzhov tends to be, just pretty aggressive curve outs, and then Dawn Feather Eagle .deck. Just get a bunch of creatures out there and then start tapping Dawn Feather Eagle. Renegade is so good if it doesn't die here. Let's drop that thing out and see what we can do. I'll skip my land for this turn so that I can have Ether Thief up as a blocker. Even if they have the removal for the Renegade, it gave me enough energy to draw me another card off of Ether Thief, so we're still up a card. There's the Sky Skip for the Night Market Lookout. Very, very nice combo. I think we Renegade the Lookout first then, but I'll also draw a card. Draw a card, and I have 2 Renegade pings available. Still, these Mores are insane with both of these cards. Yeah, we've got the card advantage really in our favor. It's Rebuke. I can't play a Moray and hold up Rebuke. I could play a Sky Skiff and hold it up. I do like that. Our Sky Skiff can block their Sky Skiff too, so it is relevant on the board. Even if they kill Renegade now, it's already 2 for 1. Killing that Lookout. They're looking around the board here like they might be looking to destroy something. We'll see. Nope, play a Weaponcraft Enthusiast. I think I will Rebuke that. Shoot the ace, they're down to a 3-3. And we're just having the time of our lives once Shipwreck Moray hits. If they don't play more 1 toughness stuff, then I'm just drawing more cards. If they do, Ooh, Expertise is going to be really good against the token deck too. I think our deck in general is just really, really well positioned in this style of matchup. But they're a 3-color deck over there. They're a mythic level drafter. I imagine the third color is for a really powerful splash. There are still cards they could have that could single-handedly swap the game over. They have like Cataclysmic Gear Hulk or a Johnny or something like that. But it would take a very strong card at this point to start flipping the game in their favor. They're quite a bit behind. I forgot to draw my Ether Thief card. Oops. I guess that's more energy to ping 1/1s with. It's not the end of the world. And I can ping Sky Skip if they block here with it. Block with Ether Thief wouldn't have been horrible there. Because even if they do have a trick, which it really looks like they do, obviously, I don't mind that dying. Okay, never mind. Blocking with Ether Thief would have been quite bad. Okay, so they're going to kill Artisan and our whole board. We'll obviously draw the card. We're still ahead through a full-on board wipe here. It's kind of insane. Okay. This can't crew, right? Yeah, it can't crew. I don't think it's worth an energy to poke for 2. Night Market Lookout, sure. Gear Seeker Serpent. Here's where the Night Market Lookout Sky Skiff combo gets pretty annoying, though. I think I'd trade a Mori into either of those cards. They don't block hit for 4 here. I mean, if they blocked Mori with Lookout, I can make it a 2/3 and just win that combat, so they obviously wouldn't do that. But I'd be willing to trade Mori into the Sky Skiff to stop the Wombo combo. Oh, man. Okay, at least Gear Seeker Serpent's out of range, so Expertise could still win us the game. Oh, no. What on earth do you have? For another 3? For 0 mana? What? Oh! All my stuff has more than 3 toughness. Never mind. I'm dumb. Wow, that's crazy. I'm so used to that killing anything when it hits the board that I'm like, wait, none of my stuff can get killed here? That's actually insane. Oh, I should have bounced my own Moray still, I think. Because then I could cast Leave in the Dust for free there instead. Which would have been worth it. Yep, skiff lookout and just start doing the drain again. Array! Stop! I did say it was going to take incredible cards to get them out of this, and, you know, Monkey's Paw curls, Expertise, Sky Sovereign Pacification Array arrives. Oh, it's frustrating. Okay, I can still leave in the dust my Moray here. It's not horrific. Find the puzzle knot for the lookout. It's pretty big. Can't use the lookout's ability right now anyway. They'll get one life drain off of it if I wait a turn. But this way I get to attack wide. Fairly confident I'm just going max speed, max damage here. They tap Serpent but take 6. Okay. Sky Skiff to go with the lookout. Train me for 1, have a blocker up. Tap the Serpent. If either Moray hits them, though, they die. Because I can make it lethal. So they tap Serpent, I send 2 Morays in, and I make whichever one gets through hit for 4, and then the puzzle knot for the last one. Thanks to the extra damage we sent in. Puzzle knot the face. Opponent's got a wild, wild deck there, and they played it out really, really well. But they just had a rough start there with a low enough amount of mana that chipping away at the little 1/1s and stuff got us really far ahead early to where even through some incredibly powerful late game spells from our opponent, we do manage to get the kill in the end. And it also kind of required like the most powerful card in our deck as well. It's crazy how close that game was for how bad our opponent's start was. Like, they had to mulligan down a card. They were stuck on just the 3 mana there, not being able to play much except stuff that just dies to the Renegade easily. That was a rough, rough start for our opponent, and they still just started throwing out haymakers in the late game to look scarily close to stable, but we do sneak in the win there off of being the luckier player, as you do. We are 7-2 in this draft for another trophy run in the Kaladesh Remastered draft. Feels great and very cool to show off 2 different aspects of blue-red in the format. We showed off the super hyper aggro version. Not hyper aggro, but the aggro tempo version, where we're getting those cheap little ether cards in, spitting out those tokens, keeping the pressure on, and then trying to just bounce and counter anything they play while we're hitting them. And then this was much, much slower generally and much more controlling. A lot of big gear Seeker Serpent wins in the end. Early just blocks and card draw and scries going on rather than really quick aggressive damage. But the color pair is really powerful, and it is strong enough to play either ends of the spectrum, either towards the more aggressive end, towards the more controlling end. Super, super sweet stuff from yet another blue-red deck here for that trophy run. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.